Welcome back to another video, everybody. I can't wait till I get this whole area situated and whatnot, and it just looks more lively in the background. But nonetheless, over the weekend was UFC 237, and a part of a great night of fights, the UFC also finally gave us an idea of what the White House card is supposedly supposed to look like. Now, it did look like this was like some AI rendering, so who knows what the final product will be when it is actually fully done. But it did look pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Also, I do want to go over the card a little bit because I have not made a video about that, and they did just add a big fight the same night actually of UFC 237, which we will talk about as well. So with that being said, let me get into it. I have the card pulled up right here. Okay, UFC Freedom 250, right? Main event, obviously we all know Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. Now, in a perfect world, obviously I know this fight's going to be a banger regardless because you have Ilia Topuria, who is pound for pound number 1 or 2 right now versus Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's never been in a boring fight in his life, but I would prefer this to be Arman Tsarukyan. I think he is the second best lightweight in the world behind Ilia right now. That is the fight I would prefer, but we have Topuria and Gaethje. We have Pereira versus Gane, another great fight. Ideally, you have Pereira versus John, or even Pereira versus Aspinall, if Aspinall wasn't sidelined for the time being. But you have Pereira going up with the chance to be the first 3-weight world champion. Yes, it would be an interim belt, but there'd be a little asterisk there. It would still count as being a 3-weight world champ, so there's a ton of history right there. O'Malley versus Zahabi. Again, I wish it was O'Malley versus Sandhagen, but you still have O'Malley on the card, and Amin has been putting in work. Hoofy versus Chandler. In my opinion, this is just going to be a Brazilian execution. We're going to watch Michael Chandler get decapitated probably. I hope it's a great fight, but Chandler's just... He's never in a boring fight. It just he seems washed at this point, especially after that beating he took from Paddy Pimblett. So we'll see how that goes. Bo Nickel and Kyle Daukaus. I guess, Kyle Daukaus, I believe this is his second stint in the UFC. This is a step up for Bo. He did look, impressive in his last fight. He had the head kick KO over Rodolfo Vieira, which was very nice. Bo's biggest thing, we all know, he dominates the lower level competition, but he took a big step up against RDR and fell short. No shame in that. RDR is great, 2-weight world champion from one championship, but Bo is almost 30 years old. It's time for him to put all the pieces together and really see what kind of run he can make. So I think this is a good matchup for him, even though it's not the biggest fight. Because no one, Kyle Daukaus isn't the biggest name, obviously, but he is a very good fighter. And then, again, the UFC, they really like to shove Diego Lopez down our fucking throat. Pause. Diego Lopez gets every big opportunity, title shots, Sphere card, White House card. Never in a boring fight. I understand. Steve Garcia is also a very fun action fighter. It'll be a great fight. It's just maybe not like White House material per se, in my opinion. And then that brings me to, they announced the night of UFC 237, Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis. I don't know about y'all, but that's a very fun fight for me that Josh Hokett should probably win. That fight goes one of two ways. Derek Lewis finds a way to starch Josh Hokett, or Josh Hokett crumbles Derek Lewis in a round, maybe 2. So that, there's no problem there. That adds a little bit of that fun, just, it's not the most meaningful fight, but it's just fun. Derek Lewis is fun. Josh Hokett is making a run, bringing life to heavyweight, and you're giving him an opportunity to have a big stage and make another highlight. So that's a great thing. Now, like I said before, they did reveal the visuals for the UFC White House card, so I do want to take a look at that. Sorry, this is the only it's the only picture I could pull up. I don't know what's on the second slide. Oh, this was their. You know what? Let me not play that just in case. I don't know what the copyright. Whatever. We got to stare at Trump this whole time, I guess. But if you look at that stage, that setup, we know it's going to be outside in Washington in the summer. I've never been to Washington, but I hear that in DC they do have some pretty hot summers, humid summers. They get, this person here put a gif of a tropical storm. I do hear that they can have some pretty bad storms, so I guess the UFC just has to hope and pray that it doesn't rain and they have a clear day. We do control the weather, so they should have a clear day. Let's not get into that. Just kidding. But yeah, I like it. I think it's fresh. I'm so glad that they didn't try to just build some like little hub fight island kind of dome thing and make it look just like another arena. Like whether people agree with it or not, doing fights at the White House, I think it's a little nuts, especially right now. But it is fucking insane, and it's like a video game where in like Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where it's like choose your stage, and you just have all these different sick backgrounds to choose from. Every weekend we get the same monotonous arena or Apex. The arenas are fine, like you have the crowd, you have the music, you have the lights, like at least that has energy. But the Apex cards just kill me. I can't stand the Apex cards anymore. It was cool during the pandemic. We could hear the blows, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that shit anymore. I don't want you fighting in a warehouse. I want you to fight in front of fans. Now, this isn't going to be in front of fans per se. It's going to be in front of elites and thankfully a lot of military service members, which is great. But yeah, I mean, it's fresh. Could you imagine if there's actually a camera angle where we're seeing this? Like that wide shot of that whole stage and the clouds in the background and the like overhang over the cage. Like that would be sick. So I do appreciate that they are really trying to do something fresh, and they have to, because obviously there's nothing out there and they're doing it on literally the White House lawn. So I think this looks pretty fucking cool. Again, whatever you want to say about them actually doing it, that's, to each their own. But as far as the look itself, the card itself, I think obviously it's a really good card. Not exactly what we wanted, probably. But when it comes to the look of it, I like it. I think they're trying. And that's in today's day and age, the UFC doing the same shit all the time, not giving us all the fights that we want because they don't want to pay people. At least give us something fresh every now and again. The Sphere card was so fun a couple years ago because it was fresh. The packages, the different angles they did in the arena to show the Sphere, like anytime they can go somewhere where they're doing some different shit and I'm able to watch like a new experience, that's awesome, because every week, especially with the Apex stuff, we get the same shit. So I like it. Shout out to Happy Punch for posting this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the card as a whole, your opinion on the matchups. Do you think, are you looking more forward to the Netflix card or the White House card? And then let me know what you think about the stage. What do you think about the stage that they're building? That's all I got. That's all I wanted to talk about. I will see you in the next video. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm out.